Now, back to Access Tech Live, a CES special. The latest in tech and accessibility with Scott and Marc Aflalo.
Welcome back to our CES special. Scott and Marc Aflalo with you today. Now let's head back to the CES show floor where our next guest is standing by. She's the Chief Corporate Brand Ambassador for Lutron and she sits on the board of the CTA. Now this is not the first time, nor will it be the last, that we welcome Melissa Andresko to the program. Thank you so much for being with us, Melissa.
Good morning, Stephen. Nice to see you.
Now, Lutron has been in operation for over 60 years and still at the top of its game, at least as far as I'm concerned, in making our homes smarter with switches, shades, and so many other amazing solutions as well. I'm going to talk about some of those today with you. How do you continue to innovate year after year in this space?
You know, Stephen, it's been an amazing 60-plus years for Lutron, and I think our first principle is really about taking care of the customer. And so our innovation is really driven by what are we hearing from our customers? What do they want? What do they need? What do they wish they were able to do in their home that technology could solve a problem for them and make their lives simpler? Whether it's, adding peace of mind, whether, it's helping them get ready for entertaining a little bit easier. So that customer feedback for us is just so critical. And that's really what fuels our innovation year after year.
Now, Melissa, CES is more than an opportunity, obviously, for a company like Lutron to showcase their products and services. I'm curious what you get out of it, on a personal level or as a corporate level. Is it the interaction with your user base? Is it getting to meet other partners in the space? What do you come away with when you leave a CES?
First of all, hi, Mark. Good to see you. For us, CES is just such an amazing moment for us every year. I mean, not only are we getting to interact with some of the world's most incredible media and showing off everything that, we've come out with in the past year, but it's a chance for us to, number one, also see all of our alliance partners and get to meet with them and get to see, just really keep a pulse on what's new, what's next, what should we be thinking about? Are there any other alliances we could be thinking about? Our products work with some of the best brands in smart home, and we're always trying to figure out, is there another application that we should be thinking about, something that's going to make sense? Right now we work with Ring, for example. So if somebody rings the doorbell, you could have a certain number of lights come on in the house. That's a very good application for somebody. So are there other use cases out there like that we could maybe be thinking about for the future? So for us, it's really about discovery, but also just really keeping a pulse on the industry.
And of course, our focus here on Access Tech Live is all about accessibility of products, right, for disabled users. Is that something that's part of your mission as well?
That's something that I'm very personally passionate about. I actually sit on the CTA Foundation Board, which is a very important mission for me, and it's all about helping folks with disabilities or seniors get access to technology and helping, make their lives easier and better. But our Casada, the Lutron Casada product is a perfect example. I mean, you could use what we call our Pico remote, and we've seen people put that on wheelchairs. We've seen people, with limited mobility be able to control their lights from their bedside. So it's definitely one of those added benefits to our system. But I'm just so pleased in general with where smart home, the freedoms that it's been able to give people. I mean, we make our Serena Shade product, which I know you're both probably very familiar with. But for people, I've had people tell us, like, I haven't raised or lowered my shades in a year or two because, wrist issues, they can't, turn the blinds anymore. So being able to give people access to sunlight and being able to just help people stay in their homes longer, I think is just a tremendous thing. And I think it's something that really, again, this whole technology for good concept, smart home's a really good example of that.
That's a beautiful way to put it, Melissa, bringing sunlight into someone's life. I mean, it sounds quite flowery, but it's actually quite impactful because you're absolutely right. There are reasons why people may not open their shades at home. And that is something that is so important. It's a simple thing like that can really make the difference.
Exactly.
You say you hear from customers, and that's obviously a major part of this. Do you hear a lot from the disability community? Do you get into that conversation with your customer base to understand how these products can impact people?
I don't know that we specifically have any, I don't know that we have any specific feedback from that community, but I know that we've heard stories second and third hand from our dealers or other customers who are helping to bring these products into people's homes, but I'm not sure if we've actually heard directly from folks in that community, but I'm sure we have. We we have a lot of customers reaching out and 24/7 tech support. So I'm sure at some point we have. I just don't have any specific examples I could share.
Not a problem. I got a question. As a board member of the CTA Foundation, they have the pitch competition every year, which wrapped up yesterday. We've got the winner lined up later on in the show. What do you take
Nice.
away from that in particular when you see all this new tech, this emerging tech, and people really buying for a prize? You know, it's not only the accolade of winning, but it's also there's grant money and there's attention that comes onto companies like this. Do you guys take away anything and bring that back to Lutron? And does it reinvigorate yourselves in terms of just product growth and just the brand itself?
I think being at CES, to your point, seeing these people vying for prize money, for these honors. I mean, being in the Eureka Park section, I mean, talk about inspiring, where you see all these, founders there just dying for a chance to meet with people who could fund them and help take them to the next level. So for me, I just think it's very inspiring to see all these people, the passion, the dedication. They're here like on a shoestring budget, putting every dollar they have into making that business special. So to be at the pitch competition and see the different types of products, it's really moving. I mean, every year the foundation gives out a number of grants, and when you're reading those grant applications, I mean, you can't help but be moved when you see what some of these people are asking for money to do, whether it's giving seniors access to the internet or creating community centers or, helping make apps more accessible. I mean, it's just, you realize, how technology really is helping to propel our world forward, and it's just so many good things are coming out of it. So I'm really excited to see what comes out of this year, and for the foundation to see all these wonderful applications come in the next couple months.
Well, we love following Lutron, and I want to thank you for coming on. And I thank you on behalf of all the Lutron users out there for the timer feature that just made it to the app right before the new year. It's something
yes.
I know I've been personally asking for that for quite some time. I can now actually make my lights go off by themselves, so my kids don't have a reason to try and get another one by me. Melissa, thank you so much for taking the time to join us. We cannot wait to have you on again.
Yeah, thank you both, Mark and Stephen. Have a great day.
Thank you.
Coming up, a company that first created the wheelchair and seat lift for cars. Kevin Frayne is here from Braun Ability after a quick break on our Access Tech Live CES special.
This is Access Tech Live CES special. Follow us on social media at Access Tech Live. We'll be right back.